This story is true. The story is called My Time Amongst the Dinner Thieves. Now, I was walking on the sidewalk downtown. I was looking up at the futuristic looking lights on the buildings, and I was looking at the new Coliseum that was built in my downtown of my city. And I was thinking, my city looks pretty futuristic looking. I ran out of the corner and I saw this beautiful lady, blondie kind of hair, blue kind of eyes, but something wasn't right. She was crying, holding her arm on the ground, and I almost walked right by her because I'm used to seeing sketchy kind of crackhead kind of people downtown, but something was different about this girl. She didn't look like a sketchy kind of crackhead kind of chicken McNugget eating son of a... Anyways, this is serious. So I asked her, "Are you okay?" She says, "Do not touch me. Just go away, cyborg." And I said, "Excuse me? Why?" Anyways, she says, "Do not touch me. You will regret it." And I said, "You look hurt." She started screaming. So I backed off and I said, "Well, maybe I'll get on my cell phone, phone the cops to get an ambulance for her or something." She's screaming. So I just said, the hell with it, and helped her. Now, was it a good idea? No, that might end up with a good idea, but I felt a pinprick in my arm when I went to help her. And then with tears in her eyes, she says, "Oh my God, you're in big trouble." And I said, "Did you just prick me with something?" As I looked down at my arm. And she says, "No, you have got a follicle on your arm transferred from me and transferred through time, through different people, onto the follicle in your arm. And right now it's about 1 millimeter. And she says the longer you let that follicle grow out, the longer you're going to be stuck in time, in the future, in the past, present, wherever." And I just asked her if she took her medication, if she was okay, if she wanted me to take her down to the Wendy's or Tim Hortons down there and get some real food in her, because she was starting to hallucinate, because I figured she looked kind of thin. And she says, "No, you don't understand. You get a hair follicle transferred from me, and there's nothing you can do about it, because you're going to be going through these episodes hundreds and hundreds of times until that day the pain's so bad that you transfer it." No, I thought she was just a nutball. And as I looked down at my arm, I saw the twinkling kind of a little light in the follicle. And I kind of looked around and I said, "Oh, it's got to be a glare kind of off one of the lights around these futuristic looking buildings." And then as I looked around, everything does look kind of futuristic looking. As I look at my phone, as I look at the light on my jacket that's powered because it's cold out, And I look at my LCD watch, and I said, yeah, but I'm in the present. I don't have like a flying car or anything. She says, take a really close look. So I took my nail and pinched it, and she says, don't, as I pulled it. Next thing I knew, I was in a small little town 40 some years ago, sitting on a little red bike with a fireman's hat on, with a little red fireman kind of light on top that goes around. And as I looked around with my young eyes, I realized I was back many, many years where I didn't really want to be. And as I looked down at the hair on my arm where the little follicle was not even a millimeter, and I was thinking, I either have to pull this hair out to get back, or I'm going to be stuck somewhere else I don't want to be. And trust me, I didn't want to be back on my little banana seated red kind of bike with my fireman's hat on, riding past my crush of a girl, and she was pointing and laughing at me. She was pointing and laughing at me, and I was trying to impress her. Now, I'm sitting there back, and I said, okay, it's different now. I have the mind of a full-grown adult back in my old self many years ago. And I said, you know what? There's some things I could do. What can I do? How can I fix? So anyways, I just wiped out on my bike. And as I wiped out, I scraped the little hair on my arm. As I wiped out, next thing I know, I'm back laying on that street downtown. The girl's looking at me. She says, do you believe me now? And I said, how's that possible? And she says, let it grow 2 more millimeters, and then you'll see that this is not BS. And I said, how do I get rid of it? She says, you can't. You're stuck. Basically what happens is you get transported through the black hole in the center of the universe, and it sticks you into like a 4th dimension, and when it spits you out of that black hole in the center of the universe, you end up on this planet, but in a different spot or another part of our galaxy. Does this sound crazy? It might sound just a little bit crazy, but it's all true. Now, I said to her, how many of these crazy things have you did? And she says, get a magnifying glass and go stare at that little follicle. And she says, you'll see a structure inside the follicle in your hair. And the structure is time. Structures, there's little steps that go spin around the follicle and inside. And every second, every millimeter equals minutes. You grow it out longer, and you spend more time. And I thought maybe I just hallucinated. Maybe she just pricked me with some weird crap. I don't know. But I went home, and I took the magnifying glass from my massive bottle cap collection, and then as I looked at the hair in my arm, and I took a really close look, I could see it was crystalline looking at this, and there was like little boxes spiraling, and each box looked like it was a different time kind of portal. And I figured this out by just looking through this time portal. as they took the razor and about to cut another millimeter off this hair, 'cause now I'm curious.